Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Long time no see. This coloring chat was just not meant to be, and I'll go into that once we start. So, been meaning to record throughout the week, and yesterday, which was my birthday, so I wanted to find a birthday picture. So even though today, which is Sunday the 22nd, is the day after my birthday, I thought I'm still going to color the birthday picture. And this is, I'll show you, because yes, I look at the answers in the back. Where is it? We're going to do a birthday cake. So I am going to color with something in here that I have never colored with before. Let me get should have had this out. Get a sheet of cardstock to put behind. I'm going to use my Ohuhu brush markers. And, okay, sit down if you're not already. I don't have the colors figured out. I know, shock. But yeah, I'm going to use my Ohuhu brush markers. And I figured, there's not a lot of colors here. Red, dark orange, light orange. So I thought, we should be able to figure this out without having them figured out ahead of time. Fingers crossed. So, because this book is a little different than all the other books. Doesn't that figure? All the other ones go number 1 through 36. Not this one. And I don't know why they did this one differently. This one uses letters for their numbers. And yeah, it doesn't go according to the other ones. There's how many books in this series, and as far as I know, this is the only one like this. So even if I would have used, I like to use my Crayola Super Tips, that's all I've ever used up to this point in these Mystery Mosaic books by Mindware. Even if I would have used those, it wouldn't have worked anyhow. So I thought, well, I'm going to try alcohol markers because the lines are really nice and thick in here. So I thought, okay. So let's look for some A's. A is red, which should be easy enough. And then we have a dark red. So I'll be using this for the dark red. So let's use, and then we have dark orange and light orange. I'm going to use deep red, R4, for the regular red. Okay, let's find some A's. We'll zoom in. Although you probably won't be watching me anyhow, and I hope my head doesn't get in the way. Because I have to kind of look closely. Oh yeah, alcohol markers work good in here. So far. That's not, saying I'm going to be staying in the lines. Maybe A wasn't a good one to start out with. There's not a lot of them here. Just here and there. All right, so how are all of you? Are you having a good weekend? For those of you who are not working. And if you are, I'm sorry. Or if you are watching this later, how is your day going? Like I said, I wanted to record this during the week. I did post on the community page about how I was not able to record last weekend. Because, life just got in the way. Saturday was busy. Us sisters got together to plan the activities. My sister from New York is coming this weekend. So I, again, will not be able to record this weekend. So we have doings going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, won't be able to record this weekend either. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be fitting that into my schedule. But we shall try somewhere. So you will not be getting a color and chat next weekend either. Unless, like I said, I can squeeze it in somewhere, but I doubt it. We got the birthday balloon fingernails going on. Yes. And I have a bunch of videos to catch up on and record today. So again, I know I say this every single time that I'm not sure how long this color and chat will be. I do have a few things to talk about, so yeah. Okay, that's all the A's that I see. There are a lot of R's, so I think we're going to do that. R is magenta. Now, magenta can be interpreted many ways, right? I think we'll use this as a magenta. On camera, it looks like a real deep red, but it isn't. Or would that be more of a... See, this looks more pink to me. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Although we do have light pink, hot pink, and magenta. So let's kind of pick those out. Light pink and hot pink. But if we use light pink, one of these two, hot pink, I guess I could use this as a magenta then. Let's use RP1. RP1. Yeah, and we'll get some of the R's out of the way, and then I'll be able to see some of the other letters more clearly. So R's go all the way down and out to here. So we'll go all the way across. Makes it faster and easier, and so that's why markers work so good in these books, whether it's water-based or alcohol-based. What was I saying? Oh yeah, not being able to record for a while. So I do want to get as much recorded yet today as possible. The day is getting away on me though. It's already late afternoon. I was working on some things this morning again and just got done finally waterproofing the cushions on the patio furniture, the cushions. And so I want to mow lawn then after supper and get those chairs down by the swing set down in the fenced in area so that I can then sit with the kids, the grandkids, down in that area with them. Have the table. I'll have somewhere to put stuff instead of on the ground. Oh, and that was an F. Wasn't paying attention. F is green. It isn't going to be green now. That's okay. It's just kind of like a dot in between. Anyhow, so I thought, like the side, this one went, whoops. I gotta move this. It would have looked funny once I took the tab off, wouldn't it? So yeah, got that done, got some other stuff done. And then, yeah, must record. Okay, ours do go all the way across on this one. So yeah, as far as what happened, I did post I was going to record on Wednesday. Came down with a major headache. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was verging on a migraine. I used to get migraines all the time. And then for some reason, when I was put on my antidepressants, and well, a couple of them are anti-seizure, but they found out some anti-seizure meds work for depression also. The cocktail of pills that I'm on also worked for my migraines. And they do find that occasionally. So boy, double plus. My trigger finger is still really tired from holding the spray can, the nozzle down. So if I'm a little shaky, that's why. It's tired. Wow. Takes finger power to do that. I can't imagine though if it wasn't aerosol having to pump a spray can for all of that. Oh my god. Yeah, that would have not been good. So yeah, was not able to record on Wednesday. Then Friday I had a bunch of errands to run, and I had gotten my second COVID shot. So I was going to record, yeah, yesterday, which is my normal recording day, Saturday. Yeah, I had a reaction to the COVID shot, so I was sick on my birthday. It's like, Lisa, what were you thinking, having your second COVID shot the day before your birthday? What a dummy. I had it at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was fine all day. I mean, yeah, my arm was getting kind of sore. Expected that. But by 10 o'clock in the evening, I started getting the chills so bad. Oh my gosh, I was just shivering so bad. And I put my zip-up sweatshirt, kind of coat, whatever you want to call it, on over my shirt I had on. And yeah, I just could not stop shaking. And I was starting to feel warm. You know, my skin was, so I took my temp. I don't know if, because I got one of those, I always call it the temperature gun. You know, one of those that you point at your forehead like most facilities use. Matter of fact, it's the exact same model that Walmart used before they gave me my shot to check my temp. And usually, every time you take it, it's 97 point something, because they're typically about a degree cooler than your actual body temp. I don't know if it's just because, number one, it's your forehead, number two, because of the type of instrument you're using. I don't know. But take my temp, and yeah, my forehead said 98 point something. So I figured, okay, low grade fever, but boy, I felt hot. My skin just felt hot. So then I proceeded to start taking my temp on different areas of my body. Which, yeah, sounds bizarre, but I did. I took it in the crook of my neck because it felt extremely hot there. And it was 103.6. I'm like, Ah, that's more like it. And so, yeah, I had quite a high temp. And my arm was tingling, you know, the pins and needles feeling like when it's going to sleep. It was driving me crazy. So I Googled it, and that, you know, they can be, they're, that high a temp is kind of rare, I guess, but I guess it can happen. And it just said if it continues for more than like a couple days, to then give your doctor a call. So I just kind of waited it out, because some of the places, and I took my temp later, and it even said 104.2 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, then. Yes, this is why I am so cold. Well, I felt cold anyhow. And when I went to bed, I just covered up with my sheets and a great big thick comforter and snuggled all in. Oh, it felt so good. My feet and my hands were like ice. Oh my gosh. But then I couldn't fall asleep. It was after 3:30 before I fell asleep, and naturally Bella had to have me up before 5:30. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. And I woke up just drenched, because by then I was warmed up and I was sweating. But yeah, woke up yesterday morning then really nauseous, you know, sick to my stomach. I was kind of woozy, like kind of dizzy. Not real bad, but. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend my entire birthday sick. That's not fair. By the afternoon, though, I was already feeling a little better. So that was good. Boy, the reds and the... Maybe I should have picked the darker one, because, boy, these two colors are real similar. Should have looked at the picture and back to see what kind of magenta they picked out. Obviously, it was not this shade. Should we see? Should we see what color they picked out? Just curious. Oh, see, theirs is a purple. What? To me, that was not a magenta. Oh, well. I don't know what I was saying again. I keep losing track. And then to top it all off, Bob wasn't home. He was in Minnesota at the drag races in Brainerd. He loves drag racing. And he, every year, talks about, usually he goes to Joliet, Illinois, where they are earlier in the year, I think usually in June. And then Brainerd is always around my birthday. And he didn't want to go because it was my birthday, and I talked him into going because I said, you so deserve it. I said, after what you've been through these past few years, and he hasn't gone in quite a number of years. He'll hum and haw about it, talk about it, and talk about it, and then can't make up his mind. And then the day before, he's like, no, I'm not gonna go. I said, go. I said, God forbid, but I says, you don't know how you're going to be feeling next year. I says, your back is better. Just go. So he did. And, yeah, had a good time. So he left Friday afternoon around 3-ish, and he slept in his car. That made me so nervous. But he found a guy that owned a shop who loved drag racing too, so of course they had a jabber for a while, I guess. And then he only charged Bob $30, but Bob gave him $40 to park back behind the shop, which made me feel a little better, so nobody could, see him out in the open. Of course, if anything would have happened, nobody would have seen him either. I guess I didn't think about that. But to park by the racetrack, and this was right across the street from the racetrack, so it was nice and close too. But to park by the track, $200. $200, because they have the rate as if you're camping. And Bob's like, well, I'm not camping. I'm only gonna park my car and stay overnight. But no, $200. It's a good heavens, Bob. A hotel wouldn't cost that much, and he didn't want to spend the money on a hotel. And because he hums and haws around for so long, he wouldn't have been able to get a hotel at that point anymore anyhow. So yeah, and he didn't have any problems. And then he went to the drag races all day, and yeah, like I said, had a good time. They ran until 6, so then a little after 6 he told him to call me when he left, so I knew, about when he'd get home, and I wouldn't have to worry. And yeah, got home about 11:45, no, 11:30 maybe. So, and it was almost 6:30, so it is about a 5-hour trip from here, which is about the same amount going to the one in Illinois. That's about a 5-hour trip also. So, he's got so many friends, and he ended up having to go by himself, which he didn't care. He doesn't mind going by himself. God dang, I keep going over the wrong ones. So yeah, that didn't bother him at all. He initially wanted me to go, and I'm like, I don't think so. I had gone once with him down to Illinois. And yeah, it's kind of exciting, It's very different being there versus seeing it on TV. But, I'm, of course, not into it like he is. It's more the guys that love all that, racing of the loud engines. And there are definitely women too, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, you see a lot more men into it than women. So yeah, I spent a nice quiet day by myself. And yeah, once I was feeling a little bit better in the afternoon, I decided to just kind of relax for my birthday. Worked on, again, some more projects. I finally started my Hade upstairs, which, if you're not familiar, if you don't diamond paint, you may, and even if you do, you may not have heard of this. Hade is Heaven and Earth Designs, and they have cross-stitch patterns that you can purchase, and the patterns aren't much, of course. Cross-stitch patterns themselves don't cost a whole lot. It's getting the, floss in the case of counted cross-stitch, but in the case of diamond painting, the cost is in getting a blank canvas and getting the drills. The canvas, of course, isn't near the cost as the drills. And there's a formula to figure out, you know, what color drill you're going to need and how much of each one. And so I had bought in this pattern, oh gosh, years ago. And it is, I think you can find it on regular diamond painting websites too. It's Spirit of the Dragonfly. It's so pretty. There's one main big dragonfly in the middle, and then there's two more that are kind of kitty corner up on the top, and then there's a dream catcher that goes around the bottom. It's so pretty. Beautiful purples and greens, and oh yeah, gorgeous colors. So I finally got everything for that a few years ago. That too, I mean, I had everything sitting there, and I was just so intimidated to start it because I had attempted counted cross stitch years ago, and I had nothing but problems. I would get my counts off all the time, and I think I ended up having to rip out stitches more than I put them in. But Lisa was dumb when she attempted her first one. I, got a really hard one. It was a set of two beautiful fairies, of course. And one was called Night and one was called Day. But this one had half stitches and back stitches. And I don't know, there might have even been beads in it. So yes, it was a very complicated one, and that could very much have something to do with the fact that I kept getting off, but it still made me really, really nervous to start this thing. But I kitted it all up. I had to create a whole new setup upstairs because my drafting table I'm still using for my big waterfall, and so I couldn't use that. So I took a card table up because it's a pretty nice size diamond painting. I can't remember the exact size, and it's actually called a mini because I do have a full size Heaven and Earth design, and that one is massive. It's like 6 feet wide by, it's got to be at least 7 feet tall. Something I'll never get done in my lifetime. So I thought, no, we're going to start with this small one because it is a complete blank canvas. And then you count, kind of like when I did that Dottie Doodle poster, where you look where the numbers are, and then because all the dots are blank, and you count where, well, that's kind of how the Heaven and Earth design pictures are. They have sense because the diamond painting world has exploded so much. They have since come out with some diamond paintings that are already stamped on the canvas, so you can get printed ones, and then you indicate if you want it printed in color or if you want it black and white, and whether you want poured glue or double-sided adhesive. And I thought, who, number one, wouldn't want it in color, right? Number two, poured glue is just so much nicer than the double-sided adhesive. So, there too. Can't imagine choosing double-sided adhesive. So I haven't ever gotten one of those. They do have a lot of Hannah Lynn, because they're another company that has licensing agreements with a lot of artists. They don't have a lot converted into diamond paintings, but they do have some. And then it is up to you to get all the drills for it. And nowadays there are so many different places you can get drills, so it's not as big of a deal. When I got mine years ago, because I have been diamond painting, oh gosh, I don't know how long, before diamond painting was even a thing here in the States. There were no diamond painting YouTube channels. There were no companies here in the States. About the only place you could get diamond paintings was AliExpress. So I ordered a bunch from there. You could get some on Wish, if you have, you know, the Wish app, which is similar to AliExpress. But those kits many times, not always, many times are, because they are cheaper, you know, they do come from China. They're just not quite the high quality as some of these premium companies here in the States. Oh my gosh, Bella's whimpering. She's dreaming here behind me. So if you hear her, Bella, what's the matter? Yep, she's dreaming. Too funny. So yeah, the drills that I got were from AliExpress, and most of them seem to be fine, but I did get a couple colors that are oily. Every once in a while you can get oily drills, again, usually from AliExpress. And thank heavens I have, you know, my stash of extras. And so I just replaced those two colors because I didn't need a whole lot of either color. But yeah, actually got my setup going up there and worked on that for quite a few hours. And it's been going really well. Oh my gosh. I am having so much fun. And everybody always recommends using Pattern Keeper to keep track of where you're at. Well, for some reason, Pattern Keeper still is not available on iOS, Apple. Only Android. And this app was created years ago, and they kept saying, oh, it, you know, will be coming to iOS. It will be coming. Yeah, not yet. So I'm like, what the heck? I was going to end up just buying a cheap Android tablet just for my Heaven and Earth design diamond painting, which seemed foolish, but that's what I was going to do until I realized you can get an Android emulator for your computer called BlueStacks. That's the most common one anyhow. Let's go on to another color. I think I did all of ours, unless there's some in here. Let's do bees. It looks like there's a lot of bees. So we have a dark orange and a light orange. Let's pick those both out too right away. So, I mean, that's not really dark, but if I pick like that one and that one, there's enough difference in there. So Y5 and Y10. Y5. All right. Where are you? Y5. Y5. Reminds me of Hawaii Five-O. And Y10. There we go. Oh, what was I saying again? I am just so addle-brained today. I don't know. I know I was talking about I was working on my Heaven and Earth design. Is that where I was leaving off? I was really having a hard time now with part of the setup because I found out I cannot work on a diamond painting when it's laying flat down on the table. I just cannot see where I am placing the drill well enough when I don't have it up at an angle. So I just finagled it a little bit to be able to do it that day because I was too anxious to get started on it. And I have it taped to a low box. And but then I got to keep reaching over the top of that box to get to my drills and stuff like that. And later, after I was done here, that box had tipped over. Yeah, things landed on the floor. So I talked to Bob, and he's gonna build me something. He's Bob the Builder. And so I'm gonna wait until he builds that. I took measurements, you know how I want the incline, and I'm gonna have him put a ridge along the bottom so I can put my light pad in there. And then after the ridge, I'm gonna have him create a flat surface all the way out to the back end of the card table so that my drills are going to be up high and I'll be able to get to them easy. And then I'll still have like storage underneath that also for like pens or what have you. So yeah, we'll see when he gets around to building that for me. That'll be nice. Oh gosh, and then while I was up there, this was after Bob had gotten home from work, I had my floor lamp over by me thinking that would help me be able to see my drills better. Yeah, wasn't working. So I turned it back off and I'm working away. All of a sudden I see something out of the corner of my eye. Here's a, not a huge, but not a teeny, black spider that was crawling on my lamp right next to me. And I'm like, ah! And I get up from my chair, almost knocked my chair over. Because I don't have many fears at all. I don't mind snakes. I don't mind, you know, pretty much anything. Mice, rats, whatever. Spiders, however, I am deathly afraid of. Oh, God, I can't stand the sight of them. And Bob heard me and goes, what? I go, there's a spider on my lamp. And he goes, well, kill it. I go, no. He goes, oh, jeez. He says, is it still there? I go, yes. So I could hear him getting up from his chair. I ran into the bathroom up there, grabbed some paper towel so he could kill it with that. He comes up and he just smashes it. What does it do? It falls onto the carpet. I'm like, ah! I said, you didn't get it. And so he's looking all over with his little pen light. And he says, yes, I did. And he's still looking though. No, it's still crawling. So he smashes it again, but couldn't see it on the paper towel. I go, you didn't get it. He goes, "Ach, I must have." But, you know, again, he looks with his little flashlight. He's like, well, I don't know, I must have. All of a sudden, he felt something crawling on him. Up on his shirt. I don't know if it was up by his neck. No, I think it was on his arm. And he goes, God, it was on me. I'm like, oh my God. If that would have been me, I would have shrieked so loud the neighbors would have heard me. And so then he goes, boy, that's a tough little bugger. I'm like, yes. So then he did end up killing it. I'm like, oh, Lord in heaven. Oh my gosh, I hate spiders so much. Yeah, so there was that. Ew. Am I alone in my fear of spiders? I think it's a common fear. But yeah, I am just not a little afraid of spiders. I'm a lot afraid of spiders. I cannot get myself to kill even the teeniest one. Although I did one time because I didn't have a choice. Nobody was around, and I thought, I don't want this thing crawling around by me. And it was just a teeny one, though. So I was able to do it. This one, I don't know if I would have been able to do it. But it was right next to me, and I wouldn't have been able to continue working on my diamond painting if I didn't. So I probably would have had to. I don't know. I might have just went downstairs and did something else. Yuck, yuck. Oh, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. Maybe some of you too. So we'll change the subject. Yeah, because like I said, I know it's not just me with that phobia. Okay. So, change the subject, yeah. On Tuesday, when I had the grandkids, yeah, guess what happened? Bella ran away. If she gets out that door, she's gone like a flash. I mean, this dog is fast. And I was carrying Levi, and Maddie had opened the door. And usually Bella doesn't run out right away. I can't remember again why she did. If there was something that interested her across the street. And then, yeah, she bolted and she was off. And the last time she got out, she went across the street and back behind all the houses, because the houses across from me all have double lots. So they all have this open yard, or in the case of some, a field. Down the street, it's actually swampy. And the day before, we had just gotten a bunch of rain. So I am carrying Levi all over the place. Maddie is trotting behind me. I am looking for this dang dog. Couldn't find her. Went down by the swampy area. I mean, it's not real deep or anything. Just like maybe your ankles. But just, yeah, wet and yucky and dirty. So it's like, no, we're not going in there. If that's where she is, because that's where she was last time, and that's why I went down there. Not in the swampy area, but right next to it, in the yard of the person that owns that land. And I did manage to nab her then. I take her leash along and take her on that, but thank God I didn't have the kids that time. But yeah, this time I did, so I'm trying to walk fast, carrying Levi, who is getting heavier by the day. And I'm looking all over for this dog. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And this was in the morning. Bob wasn't going to be home for a long time yet. And so after getting up to the swamp area, I turned around, came back. I'm calling for Bella. Maddie's calling for Bella. And don't hear anything. No, I take that back. We heard barking coming from across the empty lot. So it was up a block. So I paused and I listened. And I said, no, that's not Bella's bark. So I knew that wasn't her. So we kept coming back. And I finally spot her. She was in the backyard of the new neighbors that moved in across the street. And so, you know, if you yell at her at that point, like Bob does, she takes off again. I says, you got to talk nice to her and just say, come here, Bella. Because then she stays in one spot. So, yeah, I was able to get her and get her leash on. And she proceeded to want to stay there and sniff because that's the new neighbors that has the... I determined it is only one pit bull and then one teeny little black dog. And I do see that little black dog every once in a while. It is so cute. Don't ever see the pit bull. But, so she must have been smelling the dogs back there. But, so we were right across from the street again, thank heavens. Or right across the street from my house. So, yeah, I had her in one hand, Levi in the other. Oh, my heavens. Yeah, I was tired by the time I got back home. Oh, man, oh, man. Yeah, never a dull moment. But, yeah, like I said, she sure is fast when she gets loose. She's just a panting away by the time she gets home. I'm like, yeah, see? You won't need your walk later now after Daddy comes home. I sure hope she didn't poop in somebody's yard. I'd feel awful. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about is I am getting close to 10,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, guys. I cannot believe it. Oh, yeah. I am just gobsmacked, as they say. I have all of you guys, of course, to thank for that. So I am going to be doing a giveaway. I think I'm only like, I don't know, 40 something away. So yeah, I want to do a giveaway that will include my international subscribers, because so many times I have to exclude you guys when it's something that I am physically sending out, and I feel so bad, but it would just cost me an arm and a leg to send something overseas. I think what I'm going to be doing is what I did, I think it's when I hit 5,000 subscribers. Or was it 7,500? Can't remember. I gave away an Amazon gift card, one to the United States and one for international. So I am thinking of doing the same thing for my 10,000 subscriber giveaway. But I had a question for those of you in the United States. Would you guys prefer to have that gift card? Or I have a number of books in my stash that I would be sending out like a big package of books to you guys, and it would be a variety of books. One of them to include one of the Disney Mysteries, is that how it's pronounced? And those books are expensive here in the States. I had somehow gotten a duplicate. So I have two of this one. So I thought, well, I could maybe include that in a giveaway. But yet, I don't know if everybody would want that or just prefer a gift card and pick out what you want, if it was coloring supplies or not. It would be quite a nice assortment of books. It wouldn't just be one or two. So let me know in the comments if you are from the States here, which would you prefer? That a bunch of coloring books? I think it would be, I don't know, I'd have to look through my stash here. 4, 5, 6 books. Like I said, to include that Disney book, which is a color by number, so I know some of you are not color by number fans. Okay, let's do F, which is green. That should be an easy one, right? Oh, that's right. This set really doesn't have a decent regular green. So I'm going to use G2. I use that one a lot. I have had to refill this one with my Copic ink. So this color is actually just a teeny bit different than the Ohuhu brush color, but not much. I was able to match it pretty good. So I actually like this green a little bit better than what came in the marker. So it's really nice and juicy again. Because, yeah, I had a few of mine go dry. I love my Ohuhu brush markers so much. So I did have this green. I had a blue. I think a purple. Yeah, I had a number of them go dry. But like I said, I was able to find a close enough Copic refill that, yeah, I refilled it with that. So any budget-friendly marker is refillable. And if you don't have refills, remember, once they go dry, there actually is still quite a bit of color in that spongy core in the middle of these. You can pull that chisel nib out, or in the case of some of them were, well, no, I think all of them have a chisel tip, because even on these brush markers, the other end is a chisel, or broad tip as they like to say. Never pull out the brush tip. They're so much more fragile than the chisel. You can ruin them very easily. So I always pull out the chisel tip, and you can put in some rubbing alcohol, preferably the higher, purer rubbing alcohol, which is what, 90-some%. But if you can't find that, then your regular 70% or whatever it is, 74, no, I think 70, will work too. It's just the pure, the rubbing alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol as they call it. The purer version, the better for your marker. But you can put rubbing alcohol in it once, only once. If you do it more than once, your shade is going to be lighter. That color is going to become lighter, because after that one time, you will have used up a lot of the color that is in that spongy center. And so your color is going to begin to fade. But yeah, you can do it like once rather than just tossing it. So you might want to give that a try. Oh, this is cute. I think I'll do this F, and I won't do this down here. We're going to do D, which I'm assuming is yellow. Yeah. So we'll do the candles on the birthday cake. All right, let's find a yellow. Y1. Now this is called pastel yellow, but it's actually kind of bright. They don't name their markers accordingly, do they? And some pencils. That's another video that I meant to get up, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, because it is going to be a long two-parter, and that is swatching out all 520 Brute Pruner pencils. Yes, I did buy that set. Did you expect anything less? Okay, we have quite a few O's. No. What are them? Yes, oh, light pink, which I said I was going to use. Light pink, how appropriate. RV 280. All right, and I'm going to have to get going in a little bit. And go make some supper for us. But this is, you know, an average length. Maybe a little bit shorter than average length color and chat. But again, I do apologize for not getting one up earlier. Yeah, just so much going on, and then not feeling good, and then yeah, like I said, with my sister and her husband coming from New York, and of course last year we didn't get to see them because they couldn't come because of COVID. It's going to be extra nice seeing them. So yeah, we got all kinds of doings going on. Getting together here, there, and everywhere. We had to plan all the menus, who's bringing what. So, yeah, it should be fun. This is a very colorful cake, isn't it? I haven't colored out of these books in a while either, so I thought this could be fun, and I am loving coloring with my alcohol markers in here. I am not being too careful though, and it's probably because I'm doing a color and chat. I have a tendency of just really trying to rush when I'm recording, and I don't know what it is, why I do that. But I do every time. Okay, what's P? P is hot pink, and we were gonna do cerise for that. R15. Here we go. So we'll get to at least see the colors. What did I say that was here? Oh yeah, this is pretty. But you know what color is not in here? Oh, that's horrible. There's no purple in here. I mean, they could have taken some of this orange out. Put in a purple. Good heavens. It's about the only color. It's not, oh, there's no blue either. Oh, there will be a light blue. It's just going to be here and there in the background, though. Just those little squares. I cannot believe how this summer is flying, because now, like I said, next weekend, I'm not going to be able to record. Next weekend is the end of the month, too. It's like, oh my gosh, which means 2 additional videos. I don't know when I'm going to get recorded. So I'm sure my end of the month videos are going to be late. I don't want to spend my entire Monday recording. Oh, I have some more peas up in here. So we have some pink and green in the cake. Because we have F's here. The only part that's a little tricky with alcohol markers is when you have these half squares. But this paper is not near as thirsty as the rougher Amazon paper, you know, that a lot of the coloring books come on. And because that's very absorbent, very thirsty paper, and the ink spreads very easy. This isn't quite as bad as that. So yeah, it's not too shabby. And I'm using just the very tip of the marker. That's why I love brush markers. They are my absolute favorite. I am going to be doing in the near future, and hopefully it'll be up this week yet, another swatching video of the new Arteza brush Everblend markers. And I'm so curious to see what the tip is like on those. So yeah. So be on the lookout for that. I have 2 of the 36 sets. They all come in separate sets, though. I wish they would come out with one full, complete set, like the standard chisel and fine tip. They do have a 144 set in that. So I wish they would just do that with the brush tip too, so you're not having to buy all these separate sets. And I would think it would be a teeny bit cheaper, right? Maybe that's why they're not doing it. So, and you know, maybe they will be in the future. They do have replacement brush nibs, I think. I know they have replacement nibs. I'm thinking they came out with the replacement brush nibs. So I am hoping they eventually come out with refills. Wouldn't that be nice? They are not, you know, super budget friendly markers. They are a higher price than something like an Ohuhu brush or Cali Art brush. So again, we'll see how nice they are and what the colors are like, because if the colors are different than a lot of my other sets, then it would, you know, possibly be worth getting all the sets. You know, just adding maybe a 36 set here and there. I don't know how many sets there are, if it is a total of 144 in the brush set also, or not. You know, we're getting so close to finishing this, I might as well just finish it. So supper will be a little late. Oh well, such is life. I don't care if it's late, but Bob's always used to eating on time. His tummy tells him it is time to eat. Usually if supper's going to be late, I'll tell him, and then he'll munch on some crackers or something small to tide him over until supper's ready. I am just making something really quick this weekend, but something we like, and it's a tuna casserole. And maybe you guys are familiar with this. It's kind of common around here, but that's not saying much. We eat differently here, like we put noodles in our chili. Yes, we do. I can't stand chili without noodles in now, because that's how we're brought up. That is definitely a Wisconsin thing. And even when you get chili in restaurants or like Wendy's chili and stuff, you don't get it with noodles in. So it's pretty much just your homemade chili. Because those, of course, come from chains from across the United States. So, yeah. Because some of the restaurants, the sit-down restaurants, they do have noodles in their chili. Just because that's a Wisconsin thing. Just like you guys in the South have your grits. Although you can get them up here too. I tried them once. Ew. I don't like them. No, I don't. This might take longer than I thought. Yeah, so definitely let me know. If you make no other comment, let me know about the prize for the United States people. Things were slowing down on the channel there for a while. I wasn't sure why. You know, the subscriber count was going down and revenue, even the Amazon affiliate links were slowing down, and I think, you know, could just have something to do with summer. Just, you know, things going on. Who knows? How many of you have kids that return to school already? Because I heard you guys in the South, your kids go back to school earlier than us here in the North. Kids here are going back right after Labor Day. I think my grandkids are going back on September 1st. But I did hear there are quite a few kids that have been in school for a while already. And I won't even broach the controversial subject of whether masks are required or not. We do have a few schools here that are requiring them, and while there are some parents that are very thankful, you do always have those on the opposite spectrum. So, and then the other schools aren't requiring them. So it's up to each individual school district to make that call. But yeah, so our kids are going to be going back to pretty soon. It's so depressing because, again, end of summer. Boo hoo. Love football, but yeah, football starts there too. It's like end of summer. Oops. So sad. Oh, I hate winter. Yeah, I really don't belong in Wisconsin. Really don't. Oh, that's right. I have those to do too. So we have some J's. Oh, here's an F. See, now they could have had purple in the background. Isn't there enough green? Oh, and one of the F's was up there that I covered up. So, oh well, we got enough green. I was thinking the other day, I know, yeah, surprise. And it did hurt. Wouldn't it be cool? They have so many crafting retreats, you know, and now they have some diamond painting retreats. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a coloring retreat? You know, they have them, some they have like for a week long, and then they get, you know, they block off a bunch of hotel rooms. Or I know one that they rented a big cabin, you know, and everybody contributes to the overall cost of the cabin and food and all of that. And I thought, oh gosh, that would be fun to have a coloring retreat. Of course, mine would have to be in this area. Although I know some of those people come from quite a ways away to attend some of them. You know, there's like stitching retreats, and some of them you do whatever craft you want to. Well, I think most of them. Even the stitching retreats, you can do diamond painting or whatever you want. I guess the majority of them do stitching, but you can actually do whatever you want. Wouldn't it be fun, though? Getting together with a whole bunch of your fellow colorists. Or do you know of retreats already? I don't know of any in my area. You know, I'd be surprised if there weren't any, because coloring has been going on so much longer than diamond painting, right? Okay, light orange. What did I decide on? Apricot. So, you know, I guess it all depends upon if you get somebody that wants to take the lead and set one up. Typically takes a couple people, because that's, I guess, a lot of work, which I would think so. A lot of coordinating, and, you know, as people are, you know, saying they're coming and getting the money and marking everything down. And yeah, I would think that would be a lot of work, but that would be fun. I think it would be great anyhow. J, light blue. We finally get a blue in here. Let's do pastel blue, PB7. Yeah, if I get this done on camera for a change, I can put everything away and I don't have to finish it off camera. Always takes me a while to get around to finishing something. I don't finish it off camera right away. I was not too careful coloring this, was I? Oh well. D was yellow. And I sure hope I wasn't off camera at all for this, because I really was not watching my screen. Here I goofed too. So we just got two little squares left. C is the light orange again. And then, oh, R. You guys probably seen that. You're like, Lisa, you forgot an R. There. Oh my gosh, we did it, folks. Let's zoom back out. There's the birthday cake. I'm not a lover of the pink and green together. I mean, really, couldn't they have put purple and pink together? That would have been so much prettier. You know, and then the green and orange. I don't know. Oh, well, it is what it is. I guess I could have substituted whatever I wanted, right? Alrighty, so we'll wrap this up. Again, not sure when I am going to have my next color and chat. It just will not be next weekend. So if I get a chance, it'll be sometime during the following week. Otherwise, I will see you in 2 weeks. if I don't get a chance to record. I have to record some things though, because I am getting very far behind in reviewing things that have been sent to me. So I am going to do some more of that today. Yeah, I got to get some things done yet tonight. So I am going to go and make, oh yeah, I never did say what I was making. It's just a tuna casserole with the potato chips, and make a layer of the tuna, and then peas, and I put corn in mine because I love corn, and then another layer of potato chips, and then you mix cream of chicken or cream of celery if you like cream of celery, or cream of mushroom, whatever. A cream soup with milk. I usually heat mine up so then you don't have to bake it as long. Some people put cheese in it to make an au gratin, but yeah, it's really good. Definitely not on a diet plan. Okay, folks, I am going to get going and go make that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed our little chat. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope everybody has had a terrific weekend. And as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.